So yeah, obviously I'm here on behalf of Socialist Alternative. You can call us SA for short, if you like. But I wanted to start by saying that our longer term goal in Socialist Alternative obviously is to build a mass revolutionary workers' party which can aim to lead the working class in a successful struggle to overthrow capitalism and to lay the basis for a socialist society. And obviously our ability to do that depends on a whole range of factors, not least being the overriding political situation we find ourselves in, which Peter and others have referred to. Obviously today we face a situation of internationally a whole series of things happening, particularly a mass world economic crisis, the Arab Spring revolutions, a whole series of other things. But domestically here in Australia, these things are having little impact so far, despite obviously a whole series of significant attacks on workers and a whole host of other campaigns and struggles which we need to be and are a part of fighting around. Clearly the situation in Australia is very far from revolutionary, and there's, as people have said, a low level of class struggle, a low level of class consciousness. Given the time is short, I won't go much more into that. Clearly, as is also mentioned, the far left in Australia is much too small to be able to lead any kind of significant fight back in the here and now. None of that, of course, means there's nothing we can do, and there's plenty we need to do. I mentioned there's a whole host of campaigns we're part of, as well as important trade union struggles wherever we can throw our lot in with other workers and so on. And this obviously has to be done in collaboration with anyone else who we can agree with around those particular struggles, and so on. And of course there's no disagreement between Socialist Alternative and anyone else here, I don't think, that of course, the whole idea that we need to win people to Marxist politics, not just through propaganda, but by working alongside others in struggle. And as I said as well, there's plenty to do. Despite the generally unfavourable political climate over the last decade, Socialist Alternative has been able to grow as an organisation, and we have been able to take some important, I think, qualitative steps forward as well in a whole number of ways. I think we're a much more serious organisation and a much more mature organisation than we were a decade or a bit ago. And we believe in Socialist Alternative that a couple of the steps that we've been taking recently, in particular the merger with the Revolutionary Socialist Party, which is very much proceeding rapidly, is an important step forward in the process of trying to lay the basis for a mass revolutionary party, which of course is going to be a much longer process, but it's important to take whatever steps we can towards that today. I'll talk a bit more about the Revolutionary Socialist Party, but it was this initiative and this development between us and the Revolutionary Socialist Party which then prompted, I think, the Socialist Alliance to send us that very comradely letter that they did, which has now begun the process, or at least we've had an initial meeting between the leadership of Socialist Alternative and that of the Socialist Alliance to talk about to explore the possibilities of unity between our two organisations. And it's been very interesting, welcoming to hear some of the comments from Peter Boyle today. So we've had one initial meeting with the Socialist Alliance. When it comes to the Revolutionary Socialist Party and our merger with them, things are much more advanced. And that is that we're not just having discussions, that the merger is actually well in the process of going ahead. Our timeline at the moment is that we're going to formalise our unity between our two organisations at the time of the Marxism 2013 conference in Easter next year. But we've already been working together in a whole series of ways to, as I said, kind of begin that process of merging together, including having joint public events. We've had comrades at our branch meetings from the Revolutionary Socialist Party. We've been selling each other's publications, doing joint stalls, and so on, all around the place. And I just did want to say that when I'm talking about the question of unity, I don't just mean the kind of working together with other people on the left. I think that should go without saying for any left-wing organisation, any socialist or anyone really, should obviously aim to work together with other people on the left in a whole series of different campaigns and struggles wherever we can find any basic agreement. But when I'm talking about unity now, I mean an actual unification of different organisations on the left, which is a separate question. And our attitude to unity on the left, I think, has to start, obviously, from that overall objective of trying to build a mass revolutionary workers' party. So our starting point has to be that we are for unity with other forces, other groups on the left, when it will serve to advance that objective, and we are not for unity simply for the sake of unity. We're not for unity if it will only end up weakening revolutionary socialist forces. Now, I absolutely concur with the things Peter was saying, that we definitely do not want to just go around labelling other groups as, reformist in some stupid, simplistic way and so on. So we certainly don't agree with any characterisation of the Socialist Alliance in some totally simplistic way as just being a reformist organisation.